Hello.
I know what's going on. Hey, tonight, April 12th, and I'm going to talk really quick. And some guests. You know, my show goes really fast. Didn't do too much this weekend. Actually, Friday, I got a cut and a color, and I desperately needed it. So I'm glad I'm looking all pretty now. And pretty much Saturday, I just chilled. And then Sunday was very exciting because I woke up Sunday morning and I went down. Well, I was trying to go downstairs to the basement and I slipped on something that fell at the top of the stairs, and I took a nice spill down the basement. My head open, break a bone. I'm okay. Just very, very, very sore today. I had my angels on both my shoulders. So because I'm excited he's here. He's an actor. He's a comedian. He's a retired FDNY. John LaRocque is in the house. Hello, John.
Hey, Teresa. I am very honored to be here. Thank you for having me. I like the way you call me an actor. You are an actress. You have put a lot of time into it. I don't consider myself an actor. I did a few TV commercials or whatever, but I don't really. In fact, one actor said, "Hey, would you like to go on auditions for other stuff?" And I'm going to tell you the truth. There are so many trained people out there that not really, because I could do a commercial. I can remember 5 lines, but after that, my ADD kicks in and I'm done. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever go that route. But thank you.
Well, listen. Let's talk about you so everyone can get to know you. For those who don't, you're originally from Queens and went to Forest Hills High School. Is that correct?
Forest Hills High. I was in the zone for Forest Hills. That was 3 buses, 3 city buses. All right, to get there. Now, I only took one because I walked a few blocks, but I would stop at Anthony Adamo's house. God rest his soul. Anthony passed away 2 years ago. My Forest Hills buddy. And I'd stop at his house, and his mother would give me my second breakfast right behind Bauer's Bakery, where my mother and his mother both worked. And then we'd walk to the bus. We'd take it down 63rd Drive, past Alexander's, all the way down into Forest Hills, and then we either walk 8 blocks or take it on the bus. So yes, I went to Forest Hills.
Nice. And I'm excited. College. We both went to Queens College.
Yes, I went to Queens.
And then what did you do after college? You went straight into the...
Oh, I was a mess.
Oh, really?
I was a mess. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I bounced around from job to job to job through getting married. But I knew at that point I was on the fireman's list because my friend Jeannie Conti said to me, "Hey, you like people. You're very physical. Why don't you take the fireman's test?" And I said, "Jeannie, I'm afraid of heights. Right? I'm not brave, and I'm not too good with smoke. I don't think that's my job." But what I did was it was a challenge to pass the test, Teresa, right? It was a challenge as an athlete to try to pass the test. So I was very happy when I passed it. And then I'm like, oh, my God. But I don't think I want this job. And I'm sure a lot of firemen. And I would ask guys, "Hey, do you like the job?" I would see a fireman, "Do you like the job?" And most guys answered, "I love it." It was never, "I like it. It's okay. I love it." So I said, well, let me do this until I find something else I want to do. And then 21 years later, I retired. So it was the best
21 years later, you retired. I want to know how you got into comedy. How did you get into stand-up, John?
It was something that I was a very shy kid. In fact, 8th grade dance, I stayed in the coat closet the whole dance. I checked in coats and never left the closet.
What?
So to speak. Yes, a very, very shy kid. So as I got older and started going to parties, I turned into the joker, the guy who would make people laugh. And one day I said to myself, you know what? You're copping out here. This is easy. Anybody can make somebody laugh at a party. They're not standing there saying, make me laugh. You're the funny guy. You can do more than this. So I took a comedy class in the city. Lee Frank was the comic that taught the class, just like, we have all the classes now in Long Island and in Manhattan. And I did my final class at Dangerfields. And I started doing all the crappy rooms around, the biker bars, the gay bars, the lesbian. I did every place imaginable back in the day, to hone the craft. And when there was 2 stages of my life where I backed out of comedy. One was with family issues, and one was 9/11. And I always say that I feel I probably could have been a really strong headliner at this point. But with those 2 distractions, I never really got rolling again. But the thing that is so awesome is that I've never had more fun doing stand-up in the last few years, because I don't have that attitude. I got to get in the best clubs. I got to make it big. I just go up there and go, I'm one of them. I'm one of the audience. I'm not a comic's comic. There are not many comics that are going to say, "Oh, let me hang out. John LaRocchi is going on next. Let me see his stuff." I'm very simple. I'm very silly. Not really great writing stuff. It's just silly. I'm just who I am, and I like who I am, which is important, right? You don't like who you are. But
Absolutely.
I feel like
Yeah.
I'm with them. I'm the dad. I'm the grandfather. I'm the fireman. I'm the all of those things. I go to the supermarket every other, so I can really relate to the audience, and I love going into the audience and playing with them, even if it gives up a punchline. I'll toss a punchline aside and go right in if I see something and have some fun. Not attack anybody, have some fun.
Right. Well, I love the story. I love the story of your very first paid gig. Can you share it with everyone?
I can. I always wanted to tell. I always love telling this story. I don't know if I enjoy it more than everybody else, but it was at Nita Stein's, Middle Village, Metropolitan Avenue. It was a German restaurant they leveled a number of years ago. My family was very popular in Middle Village. My uncle owned the barber. My great uncle owned the barbershop. My grandfather owned the luncheonette on 78th Street, Metropolitan Avenue. So we were very popular. And I started DJing as a side gig, becoming a fireman. We all have side gigs, right? So I was DJing a party at Nita Stein's, and the owner comes up and says, "Hey, John, I hear you're doing stand-up comedy." And I was just new, never got a paid gig yet. He goes, "I'll pay you $25 to come down and do some, I don't know if he said some time, but do some comedy at my holiday party." So I go, "You're going to pay me?" Oh, my God. So I show up, and it's all these drinking for hours, no food out yet, no stage or anything, just an open dance floor. So he goes, "John, you're going up soon." So I'm back there, and I'm all nervous. I got my notes, in my hand, and I'm a nervous wreck. And I hear him say on the microphone, "All right, guys, before we bring out our strippers, we have a comic." And I'm in the back like, what did he just say? Did he say strippers? So he comes back, goes, "Oh, John, you're up next." Like, oh, my God. I was like beside myself. So I go walking out there, and nobody cares. Nobody wants. And I learned opening up for strippers 2 more times to talk to the audience and beg them, just give me 15 minutes. So I wasn't that smart that night. So I'm out there, and I suck to begin with. And I'm bombing a miserable death, and nobody's paying attention. And this one guy comes walking straight at me. The bar's behind me. And as he walks past me, he's a little drunk, and he leans into the microphone, and he goes, "You suck." And it reverberated through the place. And I think I started crying. I think a tear came out. And I never waited for the $25. I ran out of there and said, "I'm never doing this again." And that was about 30 years ago. 30 years ago. So I'm still
wow.
Here.
Wow. I love that. I love that story. It's hysterical. I actually ate at that restaurant when I was dating my husband. He goes, I'm going to take you to a great German restaurant. We went there, and it was amazing. It was a beautiful place too. Really nice place. All right, so that was your first.
That place went back to the day, I think of the trolley cars on Metropolitan Avenue. That's how old Niederstein's was. It's very sad to see it go.
Yeah.
Now there's a
it was really
Arby's
nice
there
place.
now. Yeah, very sad.
All right, so that was your first paid gig, and you kept going. You wanted to keep going. You didn't stop, and you've been doing comedy like 26 years now. I mean,
Probably closer to 30.
This is something that's in your.
Well,
is it? Wow, closer to 30 years.
Yeah, and I on and off at times, like I said, but I'm not pounding the pavement anymore. I'm at the point now is I would love to play full theaters. You know what it's like. We would love to play these full theaters. But right now, I'm at a point in my life where my passion is remembering my guys through comedy, raising money for different charities, memory of my guys through comedy, and this new Heroes tour that I wanted to talk about tonight is really special to me. Because after what we went through COVID, my whole mission statement was to help firemen, cops, EMS, and military through laughter. And then after COVID, I'm like, oh my God, it was so obvious so long. Why aren't you including healthcare professionals and teachers even? So we changed our mission statement, and I'm putting together the Heroes Tour, which is made up of some, if not all on every show, because the show has to be strong. I truly believe that I want people to leave my shows and go, what a good cause. What a great show. I don't want them to leave and go, $50, it's going to charity, the show is okay. So we're going to highlight comics that are in those professions. But that doesn't mean that we don't hire a headliner. If we don't have a headliner who's in one of those professions to round out the show. So that's what I'm working on right now.
You founded Laugh to Save Lives Foundation, and I want you to explain to everyone who doesn't know what that is, why you started it, how it came to be, and why it means so much to you.
It means everything to me. To be on a show like this, say Laughter Saves Lives, knowing how I started it from scratch, and it means everything to me. In fact, not that I'm patting myself on the back, but the Johnny Mac Foundation. John McNamara was a New York City fireman who died of 9/11 related injuries. His wife, Jennifer, who's a good friend of mine, started the Johnny Mac Foundation. Firemen make up the board. They do a golf outing. They do a great job, but it's out of the FDNY, and they're honoring me at this year's golf outing. So for me to be honored by an FDNY organization from this little charity that I started that good means the world to me. I mean, I was crying on the phone when Jennifer told me, and she, so why did I start it? After 9/11, after losing 19 guys, 19 in your firehouse, which still has not sunk in. You lose 19 guys you work with, a third of the people you work with, you come to work the next day and they're gone. So how do you deal with that?
Yeah.
How I don't know. I can't tell anybody how to deal with it, because part of the way that I dealt with it was through comedy. Because I went to the funerals, I went to the memorials, and it just beat you down. Where are these guys? There's their kids, there's their wives. So what can I do? Well, they made me laugh. People would come into the firehouse and laugh and go, "You're the comic? Dennis is funnier than you. Kevin is funnier than you. Tommy's funny." And they were right. They were all funnier than me. In fact, I would sit and listen and then use their material on stage. I tell them, "I'm using that tonight. I'm using that." And then go, do what you want. So I figured, what a great way to remember them by making people laugh in their name. very simply, making people laugh and then raising money for different charities in their name, doing, as you've done for me, the veteran shows in their name. What a cool way to remember them, because that's what they would have wanted. Let's be honest. I'm on that list. It's on the wall. I was supposed to be working that day. I look at it every day.
Yeah.
I'm on that list, and my name was crossed out. And everybody that worked that they put next is gone. So they would want me to do this. I truly believe that they would want me to make people laugh as a way to remember them. And what's really cool, Teresa, is when I'm doing a show and their kids are in the audience or their wife is in the audience. Tomorrow night, I'm having on my show, I'm having Janlyn Scalzo. Her husband died on 9/11 in my house. She's very active with the Lions Club. Her daughter just got accepted to medical school. Oh my God. How proud her dad would have been of her, going to medical school and saving lives as he did. So that's why I started the Laughter Saves Lives Foundation, to remember them. And it's very therapeutic for me. It's very therapeutic because if you think about
I'm sure it is, because I think without it, John, you wouldn't be the same person you are today.
No. I probably wouldn't be doing stand. I don't think I would still be doing stand-up, because after 9/11, I didn't want to get back on stage. And then somebody said to me, well, why don't you come down to the show? People are in the audience that need to laugh. This might be good for you, and people need to laugh. And that's kind of what got me. I was telling the guys last week, I used to do a radio show at WGBB. I don't know if I ever told you this story. WGBB in Freeport. So Tommy Gardner was my co-host. Did I tell you this story? Tommy Gardner.
No, I want to hear it.
Okay. Tommy Gardner was my co-host. I lost him on 9/11. He was my best friend in the firehouse who wrote jokes for me. He was my co-host on the show. So one show we had a belly dancer on. Now we're doing a radio show, right? I'm taking an acting class in Manhattan, and one of these very attractive girls in the class was also a belly dancer. So she comes up to me and she goes, John, I hear you have a radio show. Can I be on it? Well, a typical guy, I'm looking at this gorgeous girl, and I'm like, oh yeah. So I show up the next day, and I go, Tommy, we're having a belly dance. What are you, an idiot? He goes, it's a radio show. What are we going to do? I go, I don't know. She asked me. I couldn't say no, So we're doing research on belly dance. We're trying to make this as legit, as possible. We don't want to get into the Howard Stern type deal, right? So we're writing down questions. So good interview, some laughs. So she goes, guys, I'm going to go change into my outfit, and I'm going to come back and do some belly dancing for you on the air, whatever. So we're both like, all right. So the engineers go, what are you guys doing? Like, how are we going to do this, So we're sitting there, and she walks in the room, and the engineer's going, guys, you're on radio, talk. You're on radio, guys. And we're both sitting there like, and it was so much fun. It was like having your best friend in a playground. Like, we just had so much fun on the show. And I told him, when you post, I want you to make fun of me as much as you do in the fires. Just hammer me. Just throw out those because he was smart with his digs. Just throw them out there, And we had so much fun. But I found the other day, we did our last show, September 10th, the night before 9/11. September 10th. It was
wow.
And the thing says brides to be. We did a show on brides to be. I don't know why, but that was the last show we did together. And I remember standing outside the studio and saying, hey, you working tomorrow? Yeah, I'm working. All right, I'm off. I'll see you, blah, blah, blah. And that was the last time I spoke to him. And then I found the first show that we did after 9/11, which was September 24th. And on that show, what was awesome is I called the studio and I said, I want an extra hour. Whatever you want, John. Whatever you need. They called the next show. They said, you're canceled. You're not on tonight. And then I hung up the phone and I went, what am I going to do? What am I doing tonight? I actually asked Chris Monty I think this was the show. Chris Monty and Mark Lund, which back in the day, Monty and Lund, they were a comedy team. To come into the studio, I said, because I may end up in the corner crying for 2 hours. I go, I don't know if I could do this. And I called his wife, Tommy's wife, and I said, you mind if I do the show tonight? And she said he would want that. And then I thought of it. I said, have people call in and tell me a time that somebody that is lost in the World Trade Center made you laugh or smile. The phones rang for 2 hours. We used to get one phone call. And it was probably my son, my wife. You know, they rang off the hook, and it was awesome. It was awesome. So I don't know what your initial question was.
It's amazing.
If I
What an amazing story now. That's a beautiful story, John. Seriously. I mean, that's a great story. Thank you for sharing it with me, because I appreciate it. Yes, you had this radio show, and but you've also worked with, listen, I was honored to work with you and for you, because it's such a great cause and I love giving back. But you have a show on Strong Island as well on Tuesday nights, right?
Yeah, I like the unwritten thing with our show, the unwritten title, Laughter Saves Lives, interesting guests with a comedy slant, and in big letters, no politics. I know how I am with politics. There's enough places out there. We need on these shows, I believe, because I have a certain amount of followers, they want to tune in and go, that's interesting, that's funny. That's interesting, that's funny. So we try to have on guests, and every week we don't hit a home run, but my favorite guests are the real people. Are the nurses, are the doctors, are the teachers, are the people that have been through a tragedy, that have come out of it.
Right.
Sometimes we cheat. Like tomorrow night, we got on Potsy from Happy Days. And that's to catch viewers, let's be honest. And he's a good guy. This is the second time he's on. But I'd much rather have on somebody like Teresa, who has an unbelievable story of overcoming something in her life. And he's out there busting.
You had me on your show, and we talked about my brain tumor and how I had that removed.
But look where you are now from back then. You are a successful actress. You work so hard at it. And I always see
thank you.
Comic. You have this show. So those are the type of people that I admire much more than having these big actors on. It's
I have to say, John, you say you're not an actor. You are an actor. Okay. As a matter of fact, your son, John Jr., has actual comedy, and he invited me to join you and Pat Marone and Frank Fiella, a bunch of people, to do these hilarious skits. And I did 3 of them. I did the Forget About It app. I did the Honest Yard Sale, which is my favorite. It's hysterical because all of it was pretty much improv. Yeah. And then we did the Piano Man, right? We did the Piano Man, and they're just so much fun to do. He's very talented, like you. And so you are an actor. I mean, you're natural. You're just natural. I watch you, and you're just so natural.
Our friend Frankie Fiella has a commercial on the air, right? And Frankie and I took the same commercial acting class and almost got thrown out for talking. He's got a commercial on the air, and I got caught. So I called the acting teachers the other day, and they go, "I want a refresher." So they were sitting with me. And said, I put together an acting reel, mostly of my son's stuff. And she said, the one girl, I said, man, I was laughing at that one skit you did with the one with I talk about my daughter. Are you taken? Going off on the movie with Liam Neeson. Were you taken? Every time she calls, I'm like, are you taken? And she so I'm trying to get some commercial work. I'm trying. But they put me in that any skits they put guys around me to make me look better. That's what it was.
Well, speaking about commercial work, we're going to take a quick commercial break. But don't go away, because when we come back, we have more with John LaRocchia. Stay right there.
Thank you. I'll be here. We're back. Hello, Teresa.
Hey, that was quick. Thanks
Yes.
for joining me tonight, because I'm with my friend John LaRocchia. And John is an actor. He is a comedian. He's been doing this for a long time. And he's been doing great work with Laughter Saves Lives Foundation. I want to talk about, you have any upcoming shows? Because I know you have one May 22nd. It's going to be virtual for the 6th annual. Going on?
Well, let me say, we're starting to book some shows. I'm very cautious. I'm being probably overly cautious, but being a responder, I think I have a responsibility to be cautious. So I'm only using comics right now who are vaccinated. We don't have many shows booked. We're starting our first one in June, which is outside. But on May 15th, we're doing something cool, Teresa. Before I talk about May 22nd, May 15th, we're doing a show. What's that? Yeah, May 15th, we're doing a show out of Paradise Studios for the NYPD Canine Unit. So we're going to have our logo, Laughter Saves Lives, on a bulletproof vest on a NYPD dog. We're going to raise money to buy bulletproof vests for doggies, and we're going to have our logo on one of them, which is so freaking awesome. We're so excited to do that for the May 15th, right out of Paradise Studios. And then May 22nd, we're doing an offshoot because I don't feel comfortable bringing people into a big room yet. I want to do it right. We're doing our Laughter Saves Lives Virginia LaRocchia in memory of my mom. Almost gala, because we're not too snooty, so we don't have a gala. We have an almost gala. And it's going to be a 4-hour affair on Strong Island Television at YouTube and the whole bit. And we're going to have guests on. We're going to have comics on. We already got committed to. We have Suki and Scott, who used to be on Channel 11. They have their own podcast, millions of followers.
Yeah.
They're coming on. We have Chris Roach is going to do some time. I think I just sucked in Eric Haft about 10 minutes before your show. Eric's going to be on, and we'd love to have you come on and do something. If you want to do a little, I would love to do a little acting skit, have a little fun.
That would be great. Yeah.
But so it's going to be a great night. We're going to have on some first responders. We're sponsored by Barrister McGarry, the 9/11 lawyers, who have done a wonderful job helping a lot of guys who are very sick from 9/11. They're our big sponsors this year, and it's going to be a great night. May 22nd, I think it's 6 to 10. Bobby would know better, but I think it's 6 to 10. Yeah. So that's going to be fun.
Wow, that's great.
Did you see I put up my confirmation?
Yeah, I got my. Did you get that? Did you what?
I think you could appreciate that. I never used my confirmation name. I only used it on you see it, John Charles Anthony.
I see that. I see that. It's great. Did you get both your vaccines yet?
I did get the Pfizer vaccine. Oh, this is so funny. This is for diabetes. See this? This is so cool. They're tracking my sugar for 2 weeks. It's awesome because I write down what I eat. But I went on my show last week, and Pat Marone told our viewers that this was from the Pfizer vaccine, and I have a growth. That's not true. That is not true. We want people to get the vaccines. Yes, I got the Pfizer at St. Barnabas Hospital in the Bronx. because I got it early because I'm a teacher where I teach for Homeland Security and first responders around the country. So I asked them if I could get it under the teacher thingy, and I did. So I'm well past my 2 weeks. In fact, I had Pat Marone, who's on my show the other night. First time I was in studio with somebody else in over a year, and I played tennis with Santo yesterday.
Wow.
Because we both are vaccinated.
Nice. Well, no, that's great. Well, I got my first shot 2 weeks ago. I got the Moderna, and then I'm getting the second shot at the end of the month. Then I'm good to go.
Don't you love this, Teresa? Don't you love this on Facebook? When somebody puts, "Oh, I am getting the Pfizer and I'm getting my second shot tomorrow," and people go, "Oh, you're gonna get so sick. Oh, you're gonna feel terrible." Don't say stuff like that. Most people don't get that sick. You gotta get a little, but like people are going, "Oh my God!" Now you're making them worry, right? I don't know anybody who's gotten really.
Did you get a reaction from either one?
I did. I told my wife I couldn't take out the garbage or cook for a week. I was so tired. I actually got. It was actually the first shot was really bad for me. I got high fever. Oh, really?
And it was aches. Oh yeah. Well, I had COVID. I'm saying that people who have COVID are getting more of a reaction to the vaccine. So I got it done at 4:30 in the afternoon. I went to bed, woke up the next day, felt fine. Everything's great. About 12:30 in the afternoon, that's when I started feeling funky. My hands got cold. I got fever. And then I was like, oh, man, I thought I was going to get away scot-free. But woke up the next day like nothing ever happened.
All I can say is again, I don't get into politics, but you're part of the solution. You went out there, you got your vaccines. I believe we're part of the solution. So kudos to Teresa.
I totally agree. Totally agree.
Kudos. I was quarantined for a month. Did I tell you?
Yes, you were in the basement. What happened? You were living down there because you couldn't live upstairs.
No, because we have the second kitchen down the basement, as all Italians do, right? And we have the refrigerator. And my wife made me go down and get a tangerine, and I thought she said quarantine, and I didn't come back up. That's basically what happened. And she gave me chicken cutlets, Teresa, every other day. So if you give Guy a nice chicken cutlet, he'll listen to whatever you say. I'll stay down here. So I was down here for a while. I have my bathroom, my manly shower. I got I built a shower down here. You know, the one with all the jets?
Yes.
So I got the jet, and I got 3 jets. This is great. One for my chest, one for my stomach, and one for all things good and evil. So it's very nice. Very, very nice bathroom down here. And I don't say this. I don't say this in any kind of crazy way, but there are people that do stop by just to take a shower because they love this. So if you're ever in the neighborhood, you're more than happy to use my bathroom. Did I tell you, Tom?
Shower. I actually changed in it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Tell the whole story, Teresa. Keep going.
Yeah, because we went down there when we were filming, and we all had to change and do things. And it's a beautiful place to get stuff.
Wait a second, Teresa. It's getting worse. We were down my basement. You changed the show, and we were filming. You gotta get more details. We're digging.
Yeah.
My son was shooting.
And it was hot. It was very hot. We kept coming in from outside because it was so hot outside.
Yes. And there was other people. There was a lot of people around. And oh boy, I'm in trouble again.
Yes, there were a lot of people there. Just a lot of people. Listen, I'm speaking with John LaRocchia, and he is an actor. He is a comedian. He is retired FDNY. He has a foundation that saves lives, and it's basically bring through laughter. That's what it's all about. Just remembering through laughter and honoring those who unfortunately we did lose on 9/11, and just honoring them, and the money goes to people who are in need and suffering, right, John?
Let me just speak about where the money goes, because sometimes people get confused. We don't raise money only for 9/11 victims. In fact,
Right.
any fireman that was lost on 9/11, they got a nice amount of life insurance, extra insurance, and they were well taken care of. We raise money in memory of them. So we raise money for different charities. I'll give you a story. I was going out to Dallas, Texas to teach a class because I'm very smart, Teresa, very smart. You couldn't tell by looking at me, very smart. So I'm going out there.
I know you are.
Oh,
John.
I know. I have to tell people I'm smart for them to know. So, because usually they go, he's an idiot, but I'm not. So I'm going out there, and John Salerno is retired NYPD doing some comedy outside of Dallas. I go, Johnny, I'm coming out. Let's do a show for somebody. So we did 3 shows, but what was kind of funny is one show we did in a place that was a kick. What do you call it? What was the big disco place back in the day?
Studio 54.
Thank you. Good. So it was supposed to be made like Studio 54. So we were doing a show for the Dallas Police Department. We show up. They did a crappy job. I had an interview outside with the news. Big deal. Nobody shows up. It was 6 people who show up for the show. So I got all the staff together sitting. The backdrop was beautiful. I took a picture, and it looked like the place was packed. And, you put it on Facebook. Perception is reality, right? Laughter Saves Lives hits Dallas. And people go, oh, that's great. There's 6 people there. Anyway. Right? So we do a show for he was a paid fire department, a small fire department outside of Dallas. The guy got electrocuted at a fire. Young wife, 2 young kids. He used his hook. He hit the 220 cable behind the dryer. They thought the electricity was off. It blew him across the room, broke his back, and contorted his whole body, right? Couldn't work. Now, when we met him, it was 2 years after this happened. Still was not able to go to work. Physical therapy 4 days a week. So we do a show in this place where you met Jamie Gravy, the comic. That's the first time I met Jamie at the show. So we do the show out there. It's bands, usually a place for bands. Everybody he used to work with, his family, everybody is in the room for the first time since he got hurt, really. Everybody comes to the show that he knows, the department. We give him some money after the show. They're so thankful. We paid some bills, car payments. So a few months later, he sent me the most powerful email that I've gotten since I started doing these shows. And he said to me, I called him, I said, how you doing? I said, give me a car payment. We're going to make another car payment. Give me a car payment. We'll pay another car payment. So he says to me, John, you don't know how much I needed this money today. You're making a difference. And that's the first time I think I said it without crying. You're making a difference. And when I saw that email, I go, we're doing it. We're doing what I wanted to do. We're making a difference in memory of my guys. And it was just an awesome feeling. Another guy from Boston College Fire Department. They have their own fire department on campus. He leaves work at night. A student, I don't know if he was drinking or not, comes up a hill, head-on collision. All right? This guy goes through the windshield. It actually was stuck in the engine. They cut him out, broke 75% of the bones in his body. He had to graft his leg onto his arm. He was a mess. So I get a call. I taught a class for a guy who works in that department. And he goes, John, we want to do a fundraiser. He was also a volunteer fireman. So we visit him in the hospital. Me, J.J. Boyd, Steve Oliva. Who else was on the show? I don't remember. Somebody else. We go to the hospital. This guy is in the bed. His legs are up. He's in all these contraption casts. And he starts crying. And he goes, I can't believe you're here to do this show for me in memory of your brothers that you lost on 9/11. He said, I can't tell you, John, how much how moved I am. I go, oh, please, it's our pleasure, it's our honor. He says, listen, after we raise this money tonight, if there's any money left over, I want to give it to your foundation. Guy is in the hospital. Like, this is the fireman's mentality, a lot of them. That's why I'm so proud to be. And I looked at him and I said, hey, stupid. I go, there's no extra money. This is all going to be your money. There's going to be none left over. You're going to spend it on your wife. You're going to spend it on whatever you want. We're not taking any money back. So he was laughing, right? So we put the computer on his bed. We drive down the road. We show the show to him live as we're doing the show. And all the comics would say something to him.
Yeah.
You know, bust his balls a little bit or whatever, you know, and it was just a fun night. That was one of the first shows we did for a fireman, and that was a great night. Great night. I mean, nice. I have
very nice. Listen, we're gonna take John. We're gonna take another commercial break. Right. More when we come back. Don't go away, everybody. Stay right where you are.
Very good. Very good.
Hey, everybody. This is Motorcycle Mike, the personal injury lawyer. In addition to representing injured motorcyclists for over 30 years now, during that same time, I've represented countless car crash victims and construction workers injured on construction sites. If you need my assistance, go to my website, motorcyclemikeesq.com. I will always be there for you.
I have diabetes, Teresa. Teresa, did I tell you I had diabetes? Did I tell you this? Teresa is back. Hello, Teresa. Teresa is frozen. Frozen. I was diagnosed with diabetes, Teresa, and I went to a nutritionist. Have you ever been to a nutritionist? They go in and they take like a piece of meat, right? One piece of meat, rubber meat, and they go, John, all right, how many of these you eat at the meal? You should have like maybe 1 or 1.5. And I'd be like 6.
Hey, Nokia, I want to thank you and Gerard, Leo, thank you. Yes. Yes.
Here. I'm having a hard.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I'm glad you're there on the show. Please like Leo, Kathleen. Thank you everyone for watching the show. Again, please like. He is retired FDNY, and John, you've had some major people help you when it comes to comedy, including Joe Piscopo. I know you've worked with him on numerous occasions.
Joe Piscopo has been a good friend to Laugh to Save. He's been a good friend to Laugh to Save Lives. He has a national radio show. I don't know if you're aware of this. National show.
He's on very, very early in the morning. Yeah. Yeah,
he's on from 6 to 10, I think. And he's had me on his show like 4 times to advertise different things we're doing. So yeah, he's a great guy, and he did a show. Here's all you need to know about Joe Piscopo. He's coming to MC a show at Gotham Comedy Club for me, okay? And I try to get on as many comics as I can because I know it's a thrill for comics to be on a show at Gotham and get a nice video, whatever. So we had maybe 10 comics on. Joe Piscopo is going to MC this event. He comes down. He's sitting in the green room there, and he goes, Johnny, come here. How do you pronounce this guy's name? How do you pronounce this guy? This is Joe Piscopo, right? Johnny, I want to say that to me right off the bat. I was like, I love this guy. I love this guy. Which I had completely the opposite experience with Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld to me, no good. I was very disappointed when he came down to Gotham to do our show. Wouldn't take a picture with anybody, wouldn't talk to anybody, didn't mention five firemen with cancer in the first row. Didn't mention firemen once. He just came down and used my audience to practice his material. An audience that you know what it's like.
That's sad. I mean, he's a local boy from Massapequa. He couldn't do the right thing. What's wrong with people? You got to remember where you're from.
Yeah. And here's my mentality. If I would ever make it that big, chances are I'm not. I'm 62, but I'm not giving up, by the way, either. But here's me. I want to practice material. Gotham Comedy Club. I can go on stage anytime I want there, Jerry Seinfeld. Guys, you got to go crap. What is the show about tonight? What is it? Is it fun? Food. Oh, fireman. I know I'm crazy. Hey, honey, give me my checkbook. Jerry Seinfeld walks in. Hey, guys, thanks for letting me do a set. Here's a $1,000 donation. What is $1,000 to Jerry Seinfeld? Nothing. He didn't.
You're right.
I was just so this. And he did a half hour on a show that I booked Peaches Rodriguez, Tom DiDario, Teddy Smith. They were all excited about getting a video, doing 20 minutes. Now they're coming over to me and saying, I got to cut some of these people, cut their time down. It was very frustrating. But the audience loved it. And that's what I was happy about. My audience loved it. They standing over it. I got excited. So what are we going to do? But anyway, no negatives. Too late. I did a negative. I didn't mean to do a negative.
What are you going to do? You tell it like it is, John. That's what I love about you.
Can I tell you about my diabetes, Teresa? I have a new diabetes joke.
Yes, tell me about that.
All right. So I go to the nutritionist. I want to eat better. I want to try to. So they do that all. They have a piece of rubber meat. How many of these do you eat? You're supposed to have one. I got 6. I eat 6 of those. She goes, "You're kidding?" No, I will eat 6 of those at a meal. All right, what about broccoli? I go, what's broccoli? You know what I mean? What's broccoli? You should be eating a lot of vegetables. So she tells me, hint, don't drink unsweetened tea. I always put a splash of sweetened tea in it. No good. Too much sweet. If you want to drink something, get hint. It's in the supermarket. It's just a hint of flavor. Just a hint of blueberry or whatever. Here's why I think they call it hint. First of all, I think they take 2,000 gallons of water and they take one blueberry and they squeeze it in 10,000 gallons and stir it. All right? Because, Teresa, if you drink the hint, you'll go like this. Here's what I did. I drank it and I went, oh, that's water. Wait a second. There's something else in there. Give me a hint. Give me a hint of what's in here. Because you can't. So it's a new bit I'm working on. We got to add a few more.
Oh, you know what though, John? You've got your Fitbit though. You have your Fitbit. You're getting steps. I know you got a little competition, very competition there for a while, posting all your steps. I was even getting jealous of you.
Still do. I still do. I'm always doing steps. I'm doing a step in the supermarket. I'm online. I'm like this, Teresa. Right? And people look at me and I go, I'm in a competition. Leave me alone. I'm doing my steps. I got to do my steps, lady. I go to church. When I go to church, Teresa, when I go to church, I sit in the back of church. Why do I sit in the back, Teresa? So I do more steps going to communion, right? Doing my steps. I go to communion twice to get more steps.
Yes.
I go to communion twice.
And wherever you go, I know you park far away in the parking lot so you can get in those steps.
Why? You know it. To get more steps, I like the Panera Bread. My wife gets mad because I make her walk extra blocks and stuff. So we go to Panera Bread, and I park right in front of Panera Bread. And my wife looks at me and says, "Thank you." Now that's the way to do it, honey. I go, honey, we're not going to Panera Bread. We're going to the one 3 miles away. Stop walking. That's why I get in trouble. I get in trouble all the time, too. That's why I'm down to
John, we only have about 4 minutes left because my show goes so fast. But I want you to plug everything you have to plug. Shows. People can go to laughtersaveslives.org, right? They can go to that website. Yeah. Where else can they follow you and make a donation? And again, all your upcoming shows. But I actually have to tell you, I was silly when I saw you. I think it was Santo and Pat Marone when you guys were in Florida. I was like, damn, I wish I was there with them. They need a female comic with them, but it was so much fun to watch you poolside with Pat, and oh my God, it was just hysterical to watch.
We had so much fun in Florida. We're going to go back next year, Met spring training. But first of all, tomorrow you can see me at Newbridge Park making my grandson laugh because I have my grandson tomorrow. So I'll be at Newbridge Park on the slide, making my grandson laugh. He has the best laugh. May 22nd is our Almost Gala. You can buy tickets for the May 15th event. It's on the website, the NYPD K9 event. Who do we have on that show? We have Mary Kennedy from LA. We have the Dario, I think, is on that show. Oh God, I'm going blank. Yeah. So make a donation very simply. LaughterSavesLives.org. Use the donate button. It's right on top. Here's the deal. And I thank our sponsor, Barish and McGarry, again. Here's the deal. We're having a problem with the donate button. And the only way to see if it works, from what I understand, is to hit it and put a $100 donation in. So if you would try that for me, people, just to test it, you'll get your money back. So hit the donate button, make a $100 donation just to test. You can make $5, $10. I did speak to St. Albans Veterans Hospital today. We missed our veterans over there. They've had a rough time, and hopefully, I sent them a video of one of our shows that we did online. They show it on their TVs. Yeah. So from what I understand, when my set goes on, they time it perfectly. So the people that are having a hard time sleeping, they put my set on, they go right out, these veterans. So I'm being.
And what time is your show on Tuesdays on Strong Island? What time is it?
8 p.m. on Strong Island Television at a Paradise Studios there. It's on every station you're on, YouTube, Facebook, that book, over here, over there. It's on everywhere.
Yeah. How do you feel? I know, John, you're a huge Met fan. How do you feel about the Mets this season?
It's early. We're having a tough time getting out of the gate. I'll be there, I think, at the end. But the most important thing is they're playing. They got people in the stands, making people feel good. That's a good thing. I can't wait for the game when we go with my Pat Marone, Les Deegan, and Santo, and we go to the game and we have a sausage and peppers in the parking lot. I'm looking forward to that. I make the sausage and peppers.
I love it. Oh my God, John LaRocchia, thank you so much for coming on my show. I love you to death. I love your family, and I love being with you. I miss you guys. I miss you and Pat and Frank and Olivia, and I just miss everybody. I miss hanging out with everybody because all we do is laugh when we get together. It's so much fun.
Can I invite you right on your show? Can I invite you to co-host my show one week? And
absolutely. I'd love to.
May 22nd, make some time to call in for 10, 15 minutes and give us some funny and raise some money that night.
Yes. I want to thank everyone. I want to thank you, Gerard, very much. Gerard said great show tonight. I want to thank everyone for watching. Please like the show. Please share it. And I want to give a shout out to Dan Romano, whose show's premiering tonight at 8 o'clock. It's an adult show, rated R. So no kids, 10 o'clock. They should be in bed anyway. So join Dan Romano at 10 o'clock. Watch John on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock on Strong Island. And go to LaughterSavesLives.org. John, stay where you are. Everybody else, have a great night. Stay safe, everybody. Ciao.
Good night. Thank you. Thank you. $100 donation.